a fantastic concept.
Thank you.
I love the idea. 30 minutes, $30, in and out. It's going to be very popular.
And it's more healthy. 10 minutes on the head. It's got enzymes, which I've been using since my cancer survival. It makes a world of difference. It doesn't have any strong smells and no ammonia, and it's really a fabulous product, or obviously I wouldn't get behind it.
I know.
So I'm happy to be here, and I'm grateful that everybody else came out to support it.
Okay, well, you're very popular here. You can see that. And you look great. You look really healthy.
Thank you. Well, I hope everybody goes to cancerschmancer.org because the company is supporting my organization, and I hope everybody goes over to my website and learns how they can reduce their risk of getting cancer by living the Cancer Schmancer way.
Okay, we'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fran. Color Only Express Salons in Coral Springs. Brand new concept. We're going to show you around. Okay, so it's in and out in 30 minutes. This is the process, and I'm going to walk you through it. Okay, so you go here for consult. You go this way for color. This is the machine that mixes the color. Trish is going to explain the color mixing machine to us.
So this is Emma. She is our express mixing machine assistant. She houses all of our colorants and developers. So at the touch of a button through our software, we have a formulation that is precise. It drops down, easy peasy, it's done, it's fast, and it always has the right amount of colorant to the developer.
So you mix color for every person that comes in here?
Yes. So instead of mixing it by hand into a bowl, we just have to hit the button, and it already has the measurements of what we want, and we can adjust it if there's more hair, less hair.
Okay. Then you go this way. This is number 3. This is where you sit and process your color. And then when you're done processing, you go to rinse. This is where you rinse out your hair. And then after the rinse, this is the blow bar. Do it yourself blowout, or if you want, you can pay an additional fee to have a professional blowout. And this is the final step, checkout. I'm here with Fran Drescher. He's the owner of Color Only Express Salons. And you are the cousin of Fran Drescher, is that correct?
I am.
And you're opening this salon with her?
Well, yes, she's a investor. She's our celebrity spokesperson, brand ambassador, and of course she's a client. She's been using our product for over 2 years now. We created a product that was ammonia free and that would process in only 10 minutes. So
wow!
Yeah, so we are the first, we're very proud of this, and only ammonia free 10-minute processing hair dye. So together, their technology and the color allows us to give women something that they just wasn't available before. $30 and be in and out in 30 minutes.
I like that concept.
Right? When we first heard about it, we thought, wow, this is amazing. There's so many women out there who color their hair at home because they can't afford or they don't have the time to go to a traditional salon. In order to do it for that price and time, we had to use technology. So we created a miniature manufacturing plant. It's a mixing machine, a dispensing machine. So that allowed us to bypass the wholesalers, distributors, no bottling costs, and hopefully this, with this launch and media like yourself and get the word out, and so women don't have to choose anymore.
I think you're going to be very successful.
Thank you, Becky.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, this is Susan Holland,
Executive Director of Cancer Schmancer, Fran Drescher's movement about early detection, prevention, and advocacy work. This color-only event is hoping to bring hundreds of thousands of franchises all around the world. Oh, wow. And the nice thing about this is that there's a piece to owning the franchises to give back to Fran's charity. Yeah, who doesn't want to get a color?
I know.
In 10 minutes.
I know. That's the hard
I get a blow dry every Friday.
Right. No, it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Fran, thank you so much for coming here. You're a phenomenal actress. You have so many fans, not just in South Florida, but all over the world. You're a nice Jewish girl from Queens, New York. And what was it like coming from Queens to Hollywood and becoming such a big pop culture for so many years?
I always wanted to kind of be like Lucy. Grew up watching the reruns. and got lucky. Got some parts early on, straight out of high school. Saturday Night Fever was my first part. And I feel very blessed. The nanny was something that I, had a lot of luck. It came together in a very great way. Life is a journey, and no one leaves this planet unscathed. I've learned a lot from the lows as much as being grateful for the highs. I embrace Buddhism because it teaches us all how to live in the moment and make kindness and compassion your compass and accept all people, whoever they are, unconditionally. So that's helpful in getting through life, and I'm very grateful that my parents are still with me, and we just celebrated my dad's 93rd. Yes, Morty and Sylvia. And I'm very happy to be supporting my first cousin's new store, which I love, him. And it's my absolute pleasure to stand behind him and Color Only. I don't do it with any products. I have to believe in them. And I believe in this product, and I helped him develop it because, as most people know, I'm a cancer survivor. And so I wanted products that I felt would stay on the head as briefly as possible, have the least amount of toxins and carcinogens in it, and no smells, and a lot of rich emollients and enzymes, which reduces the amount of peroxide you need to use. So the whole package, I think, is as good as it gets. So this one is really a good product, and I'm very happy to be linked up with it.
That's fantastic. But a lot of people here know that you wrote a book, or you have an organization, Cancer Schmancer, which is amazing. Why don't you elaborate a little bit on that?
I guess when you're a celebrity and you have cancer, it becomes public knowledge very quickly. So there's no sweeping it under the rug. There's no going into denial. And I'm the type of person that likes to help people. So I started by writing the book Cancer Schmancer because I didn't want what happened to me to happen to other people. It took me 2 years and 8 doctors to get a proper diagnosis with uterine cancer. I got in the stirrups more times than Django. And then the book was a New York Times bestseller, so I went on book tours and speaking engagements, and I realized that I was not unique, that actually many people get misdiagnosed and mistreated. And the reason why we lose loved ones to cancer is almost always due to late stage diagnosis. So I started to think, well, how come everybody doesn't get diagnosed in stage 1 when it's most curable, catch it on arrival, 95% survival? And that was when the idea of doing Cancer Schmancer was forged. So the book became not the end, but just the beginning of what's now a life mission to help people and to empower them to recognize the early warning whispers of the cancers that may affect them and the tests that are available. Because all too often it's not even on the menu at the doctor's office. We have to become better partners with our physicians. Doctors are busy people, they have their own problems. And when the doctor calls and tells you have cancer, at the end of the day, he goes home and eats dinner with his family. You go home and eat your heart out with yours. So it's your life, and you have to take control of it. And take control of your body is a statement that Cancer Schmancer often says. And we try and empower people to detox their home, because almost 95% of most cancers are aggravated by our toxic environment, and the home is the most toxic place we spend the most time in. Most people don't realize that cancer is the end stage of inflammation. So we have to identify what's causing inflammation and eliminate it in the first place. Let's not get cancer at all. How's that for a cure? I was very grateful that Color Only decided to become a conscious capitalist company to link up their profits by also supporting Cancer Schmanza, which is a non-profit. And I think it says a lot about the company because they want to not only make their customers feel good about themselves, but also to be as healthy as possible, and they're willing to put their money where their mouth is.
That's beautiful. One more question. A lot of people came here to see you because they're huge fans. Huge fans. The show that you had that was so successful, The Nanny, that you and Peter wrote and put together, did you think that show was going to be so successful and such a big household hit?
The night we did the pilot, we thought we caught lightning in a bottle because the audience that was in the studio, they had never seen it before, and yet they were laughing and anticipating what was going to happen when Mr. Sheffield walked in the room and caught the nanny doing something she shouldn't be doing. And Peter and I looked at each other and said, they get it. They never met the characters before. This is the first time, and yet they're completely in it. The show ran for 6 years on CBS, but actually has not been off the air in 29 years. On HBO Max, which is so great because a whole new generation of streaming audience is enjoying it and watching it, and all the millennials that were kids watching it now have kids of their own who are watching it. So it's a phenomenon, and I'm grateful because it allows me to continue to speak to people like you and bring attention to issues that matter. So thank you.
That's fantastic. Fran, I want to thank you so much. You were actually, before you were into acting, you were in the hair care, you wanted to be a beautician, so this Color Only now is kind of in your wheelhouse. That's why you have so much passion for it, and you love the product, so it's great that you're part of it, and I want to thank you for coming here and sharing this day with all these fans, and you're an amazing individual, a great woman, and thank you so much.
Being here, I'm so grateful that you came out to say hello, and I just wish everybody good health and long life and happiness and inner peace.
Oh, yeah.